All right, everybody. So it's time for your design challenge. The first step in our design process is always to define the problem. So, what is the problem? Who is affected by the problem? Who is it a problem for? Well, this time you're choosing the problem that you want to solve. So, actually, the first thing you're going to do is brainstorm on what are some possible problems to solve. Then you can get into, what makes it a problem, who is it a problem for, all of those sort of questions. But before we do that, I have two requirements for this design project. Requirement one is I need you to be part of a team. Now, normally that would just be groups that we would set up in class. For this one, I'm not going to require that your team consist of other people who are in the class. I think that you should. It's a good idea. It'll help with brainstorming on different ideas and various other parts of the project. But I'm not going to require it. So if you can get someone else from the class to be on your team, awesome. If not, all I'm asking is that you have someone else to collaborate with. So it can be anyone else in your house. It can be your parents, a sibling, someone who's not at your house, but also not in the class that you can get in touch with somehow. It just has to be more than just you, someone to at least bounce ideas off of. Requirement two is I need you to document everything. So what I've done is made a template for you to document stuff in, so you know exactly what sort of documentation I'm expecting. So you'll see that in just a minute. All right, so back to step one, uh, brainstorming problem ideas. So as you start to brainstorm ideas, you might do a little bit of research. Now, the research that you're doing in this case isn't necessarily online. So one thing you can do is just think about as you go throughout your day. What are some things that need fixing? Is there something in your house that is just broken and you feel like there is something that you could make in order to fix it or even just make it better? Um, you have an innovation idea for something that is in your house, something that you interact with on a daily basis. Then a great question to ask is, don't you hate it when blank, right? So you're going throughout your day and there's something that's really been annoying you. Don't you hate it when, you know, don't you hate it when you're washing your hands and the soap, just leaks out of the little soap dish and gets all over the counter, right? Well, maybe there's some way that you can fix that, right? So think about that question as you start brainstorming on problems to go after. I also wanted to just show you some examples. So these are examples of projects from EDD, which is the senior level course at various schools. So I'll just go through and we can take a look at some. Um, so, as we look at these, you can think about what was the problem they were trying to solve. So you see the first one top left there, sip and drip, right? The problem they were solving there was the ice cream is melting and getting all over your hands, right? Um, the paintball helmet down here, I think, probably had something to do with paintball getting on your face or your head. Um, all right, then moving on to the next one, your car visor stoplight assist. That's one that you might not think about if you're not driving yet, but sometimes when the sun is right in your face, you can't see the stoplight. So this was a solution to that. But of course, you've got the practice pitch return here. Um, Obvious what the problem there was. Take a look at a few more. Yeah. So the portion control calculator here. You've got your music holder for marching band musicians. Oops, let me go back to that one. Snowplow proof mailbox problem there. Seems like the snowplow kept plowing through their mailbox. That's an interesting one. But cross country training ski, that's something that you might not think of. Oh, they're like solving this problem here. Yeah, they're not solving world hunger, But what if you're a cross-country skier and you're trying to train over the summer and there's not enough snow? Boom, there's your solution. And then here's just a few more. We've got an automatic watering system for a garden, hands-free lighting device, a tubeless tire, lots of different examples. I think this is the last one. You've got a dog exercising machine here. I believe that's one where the dog can drop a ball into this device and it throws it for them. Kind of nice. All right, and the last thing I wanted to talk about, now that we've seen a few examples, is in the documentation Google Doc. You'll notice that there is a blank to write a problem statement. I want you to, for today's assignment, to come up with at least a rough draft of your problem statement. So pick one of the problems that you brainstorm today or tomorrow and write a problem statement with it. So a problem statement doesn't have to be one sentence. I know it says statement, but it can be multiple sentences, but shouldn't be too long. It's a very short paragraph. You can Google examples of problem statements to see some, but I've also got another document in this assignment here to give you some tips on writing a good problem statement. So use that to your advantage. And what you're turning in today or tomorrow is that document, the daily documentation template. You're going to fill it out with all your information, and that's what you turn in. See you next time.